breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells you, friend, Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation pride.
All right, what is going on? Happy Sunday, sad Sunday, Sunday morning coming down. My God, who do we got tuning in here, man? I know there's a lot of people dealing with Hurricane Helene. So that is going to be going on for months and months and months and months and months. I don't think anybody can realize now that the storm has passed the unbelievable tasks ahead of getting back to normal. It does not happen overnight. That is the one side of storms like this you don't think about. You don't think about the effects to businesses and families and tourism and roads and Interstate 40s washed out in the Carolinas. I mean, you got massive traffic issues, and oh my God, you just can't even. That was the point of the post last night. I'm like, everybody wants to know everything, and I mean, there are stories up and down from Florida to the mountains, every inch and every mile, somebody's lives turned upside down. I mean, it is just absolutely mind-boggling when you think of the millions of people that were affected from Helene. I'm so glad we get done with these H names. Helene, then they come back with Helene. Same general area. Helene. It's only a name. Helene with an E, Helene with an I. They'll retire it. 100%. 100% retire this name. And I did read this morning over 50 now, possibly dead. I think I read 9 in Pinellas County here, and most of those are, I think all of them were drowning. So, well, thanks for watching here on a Sunday. Thanks for Shelly being here as always, and we decided to go live today and get everybody up to date. I know there's another spot out there being hyped up a lot. Not seeing anything to hype about yet. Good news, except other that's October and we watch everything close. So we're going to be talking about that spot here in a second. Nothing to worry about at all right now with that spot. So that's good news. But we have to pay attention to it and never turn our back on the tropics, right? So, oh man, donate. Great Lori. Steenhatchee, yep. It's Tropics. Everybody mad that it was a bad season. Or slow season. So here's the final wind map for Helene, and red was hurricane force winds. Look at the hurricane force winds all the way near Atlanta in the red. Made that turn to the north, right at the middle part of Atlanta, and we had tropical storm force winds all the way to North Carolina, and all the way down through the whole state of Florida, except for the tip of the panhandle here, got tropical storm force winds. But what's more important than anything is showing this right here. That is the center line. We're going to talk about that. So anyway, this is our Daily Brew, everybody. Of course, we got a lot of new followers. Appreciate that. Just some dude down in Florida tracks tropics. That's it. No meteorologist on my wall hanging. Just self-educated, self-taught with a gut. Not only a gut in my gut, but a real gut from Spaghetti Model IPA. But it's getting smaller. ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Florida, great supporters of mine, been helping me for 5+ years now, sponsoring the MWP's page here in our normal Monday through Friday. So big thanks to them and all the other supporters that are out there in the world. A lot of them are on the ground right now helping this storm. Brian in our MWP chat for moorings, they're in outside of Asheville. I believe Progressive Tree Care is somewhere in the northern Florida area. Progressive Tree Care out of Pinellas County. I know Coastal Claims is 100% up there helping folks with insurance. I know OSR is there. Tammy Kent's got crews from Carolinas to Florida. Like she said, the co-ops, the electric companies are so far spread out that there's so much damage that, they're just trying. I know the FAST team, Furman's out there on the field working with, helping with generators. And locally, Done Right Roofing here. We had a lot of winds here in Pinellas County, Pasco, Hillsborough. There's a lot of roof damages, especially all the rain we've been having. So we got a lot of folks. I mean, it's just crazy to think, Lodging Solutions set up, big tent cities. I don't even know where they're stationed at, but I'm sure they got base camps all over the place because the Carolina story is massive. I mean, everything's just, you wouldn't even know where to begin, the destruction from this storm. I mean, we got I'm going to go over this map here for sure. This is not what we want to see here. We're going to talk about tropics. I was going to see if they updated. No, they didn't. Let me refresh here. There was another spot that was maybe going to get mentioned, but luckily it's not, because the BOC down here is bubbling. I meant to look at that before, but no. So this line. Listen. So people were arguing on my page about east, west. Does it really matter? Did it really matter if the storm? The only person, I'd say the only people that it mattered the nudge was Tallahassee, because the surge. The surge was the whole west side of Florida. It didn't matter. That surge was bad. I mean, I grew up in Pinellas County. I don't think people realize how bad it is. I mean, you got sand that is, there's cars underneath the sand in St. Pete Beach. Literally. Businesses are washed out. I bet you there's tens of thousands of homes that are flooded. I'm talking not 1,000. I'm talking tens of thousands of homes that are flooded in our area alone. I mean, it's just, and this goes from up the whole coast. Now, where I was at, the landfall, this is the Cedar Island area. some asshole, yes, was arguing with me online that I was showing new construction homes, and why was I? Because look, these are all homes. These are all gone. I think there's 10 left in this whole community right here. 10 left out of 200 plus homes. And then here's Keaton Beach. There was like complete destruction here. This is my buddy Trey's house up here. I mean, this house was gone next to it. This house had its roof over here. It was I mean, every one of these homes is gone. They're massive. There's a trailer park right here that I drove on that, where's that trailer park at? Right here. There's a trailer park. Should have been, oh, there, here. Trailer park, campground. This campground right here, every one of these RVs was in the bushes over here in this area right here. So this whole general area right here, there was campers in here. Campers were in here, like in the trees. There was trucks, there was Jeeps, there was sheds. I mean, I took my drone up. You couldn't believe it. There was stuff in here. There was a fish. I showed some people last night. There's a fish. The entrance to this campground where I drove, there was a fish right here. A big fish. That was surge, obviously, but man, crazy. And then, of course, Fish Creek, I heard, completely devastated. You go down the beaches here. You saw the videos. I went to Steenhatchee. It was awful. Cedar Key was awful. Steenhatchee here was completely destroyed. Roy's was gone. So, yeah, it was bad. And then, of course, the farther north you go, we have the flooding. And anytime you get double-digit rains in the mountains, it is awful. And obviously, Asheville area, Tennessee, bridges washed out. I mean, people on their roofs. I mean, these flash floods. And let me tell you something. My opinion. When you post, that's what you get for living there. That pisses me off. You might think that. So what do you tell the people in the mountains? That's what you get for living there? What do you tell the people who got hit with a tornado? That's what you get for living there? I mean, where do you go that you don't have natural disasters? That is so insensitive. I'm sorry, man. You got fires out west. You got blizzards. You got ice storms. You got earthquakes. You got derechos. I mean, how can you tell somebody that when everybody gets affected by severe weather one way or another? And when you have 1 in 1,000 year flooding events, that doesn't happen every day, obviously. It's 1 in 1,000 years. I mean, so unfortunately, these natural disasters hit people. And it's, not like it, it's a once in a lifetime changing event. I mean, rarely, areas get hit this hard, this often, more than once or twice in a lifetime, I mean, we had surge in our area that I posted and talked about that was the worst that anybody would see in their lifetime. And it was true. I mean, people got pissed when I said it, but the people live with their heads in their sand, head in the sand. Modeling doesn't lie. I mean, it's sad. I hate it, but it all came true. I mean, everything came true that storm was unfortunately going to do. So, sucks. I just need more spaghetti model IPA. Dale Keinberg. I saw my buddy Dale up there. How you doing, Dale? Dale went to Valdosta, man. That was bad. Nobody talks about Valdosta. Heck, man, they get hit hard, man. They had trees everywhere. I mean, power outages. What is the power outages now? Let's take a look here at the old Furman map here. So we still got a lot. South Carolina, 900,000 still. Every one of these gray states has 100,000 people plus without power. And I mean, that's pretty much the past. Think about it. We had that storm turn a little bit at the end there and kind of hung out. And I mean, I had my buddy Dusty had a tree down in Indiana, so we had big winds, man. Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee. This is just power outages, and some of these folks that don't have power, it's going to be a long time. I mean, there's a lot of poles down, a lot of repair to do, and like I mentioned before, Tammy from OSR said that you got power companies spread out. You know, when a storm impacts a smaller area, all the linemen are right there. I mean, we got a storm that impacted this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states, right? So they're spread thin, and they have to, it takes longer times to get it done. But anyway, so let's say hi a little bit. I'm sure we're going to get a million questions about people wanting to help, and that is awesome. I just don't ever know what to say and where to go. I mean, that's just, you kind of got to do your own homework on that. I know I talked to Tampa Bay Brewing Company. We might set one up here in Oldsmar to help people out in Oldsmar, because we got 100 homes flooded up in my neck of the woods, unfortunately, that weren't expecting it. Hey, Tammy, what's up? Yep, Tammy, right? Tammy, what I said was right? It's just so much. It's just not a normal storm. Our house didn't get water. Thanks for asking, Sandra. Nope. Water did come up to the Tampa Road, though. That is crazy for us. I mean, this Sierra map, it was an awesome tool for worst case scenarios. Let's see if we can look at the final track on Helene here. Let's see what it showed here. Let's do... let's see here. So this is one of the... So like in my area, it's kind of what it did, man. We pretty much, I mean, this forecast was pretty darn accurate for my area, because these folks here in this part of Oldsmar were flooded. That water got all the way to here. So it was definitely pretty on point. Our bridges were all shut down. Here was the surge, unfortunately, for Homosassa was really bad. I mean, every town was bad. I don't even know about Crystal River, because we had to do a detour around it again, and Cedar Key, obviously. Problem with surge, though, is this. So, here's your storm. Everything, before the storm approaches, all the winds are doing this. And a lot of the confusion with storm surge, like, for example, Tampa Bay, let's say, when the storm was passing us here at this point, when the storm was right there, everybody was like, yeah, where's all this surge? Where's all the surge everybody's talking about? Hype. Well, the winds at this time were this. Right? Think about that. I know we have a lot of awesome Mets, but I'm saying I don't think overall the education is there enough. The amount of people that told me this right here means that we got a lot to do to next storm to really message better. But when the storm was parallel to Tampa, the winds were kind of, they were coming in, but they were still not the bad stuff yet. The big stuff came when the storm passes. And that holds true up north. But man, once that storm passes, then the winds come in like that. And that's when the big surge comes in. It comes in fast. Problem with our storm had such a big eye, the big surge is like that. You get surge on the front side, but in the videos that I see on TikTok and stuff, shows exactly what I'm talking about. Your surge is 6 foot, but then the waves are on top of that. And that really magnifies the intensity. So your surge is 6 foot, but the waves, the surge doesn't count for waves. So areas that aren't really getting the big winds, the surge comes in kind of slow and kind of comes down. But the surge on the east, north, or the southeast side, it comes around. You got to add the winds and the waves, and that's what magnifies things. That's what pounds the windows and brings the sand, and I think that's a bigger factor. So maybe the surge needs to be re-messaged as surge, and then a wave factor on top of that, because that's what really, you got 50, 60 foot seas out in the Gulf, and you got wind that's pushing these waves on top of surge, and that is what makes it even worse. It's not the 6, 7, 8 foot. It's the 2, 3, 4 foot waves, 5 foot waves being driven by hurricane force wind gusts, right? That's the thing that needs to be like educated more, I think. We didn't do a dog today. Let me get Hunter, and then we'll start talking tropics. Come here. Hey, good buddy. What are you doing, little boy? Gotta get back in routine. I heard the little piggy down there. All right, so let's talk tropics. So, going to Talladega, I hope. All right, so we got a lot of stuff out there, Hunter. And Hunter's going to do his normal. This is Hurricane Hunter. All right, so let's talk about what's next. I got my soapbox all done. We're going to talk about there's no situation in the Gulf right now, Lisa. When you say a situation, it means like there's something. But right now, we're just speculating. That's the good news. We don't have anything organized yet. So, we have an X now. That's different. We just got that's what I was looking at when I started getting sidetracked. We got an X, which means we have somewhat of a center, which means we could get an invest. A lot of people trap tease. Yeah, I believe it. North Carolina got a lot of good reporting, hopefully going on, and a lot of news out there trying to help. He looks like me, Michelle. Is that an insult? He's so proud. Julian, 12-foot skeleton is still in the attic. It'll probably stay in the attic until we get home from Talladega. Rushed in at 9, peaked at 11. That's crazy, Jay. Good morning, Brian. We got all the crayons there. Yes, we're representing yellow, red, and orange today. What are you doing? What are you looking at? Now you're looking at me. Are you mad I made fun of you? I'm sorry. Oh, I did love your little town, Carrie. This dog purrs. St. Mark's, he only does this when he gets excited. He's only 9 pounds. He doesn't know what to do. These dogs were trained to be models, I'm telling you. All right. St. Mark's, I didn't know what to do. And when I take off of these storms anymore, I'm meeting a lot of folks and a lot of first responders, and very valuable. I feel that I'm out there communicating. But then when the storm comes, I'm like, what do I do? Where do I go? And there was a million people in Tallahassee, and I'm like, let's pick a little small town. So I went to St. Mark's. I was like, wow. And then the locals started coming out and saying hello, and they followed me, and I was like, wow. Like everybody, showed up. Boland's place, and one of the workers came out, told me the story, gave me a shirt. They were so excited I was there, and went back the next day and showed the storm surge, and talked to the marina, and then I was like on the way home, and then I was like, then I saw that Sunoco gas station on the side and south of Perry, and met Trey there, and we went to Steenhatchee, and it was like, oh my God, like I didn't know what I was gonna cover for the storm, and it was like, oh my God, like then I ended up like, I went from thinking I was coming home to like a war zone. Couldn't believe it. So we got Isaac and Joyce. Ain't doing nothing. Whatever. I don't even think I updated the website. I should. I didn't even put Joyce on there. Somehow Joyce turned to Helene. Helene, yeah. All right, so we're not worried about Joyce. We're not worried about the red guy. We're not worried about the yellow guy yet. We're going to talk about this orange one. So that orange is at 50%. And these other ones were recurving out. So we're not going to worry about anything. Everybody's like, and then there's another one after that. Maybe there is. There's always going to be another one after that. But we don't know. There's very little. There's nothing really enough to. I was very cautious about going too far in time anymore. But here's what we got. We got an X now. So that means we can kind of look around. Maybe that means we'll have an invest today. So let's see where it's at first. And then we'll look at the models. It's a wave. It's a tropical wave. It's on the surface maps. Somewhere down here. There's our wave. There's our wave. You can see it spinning a little bit right here. Look, if you could look in here. Look right here. That's a tropical wave. That's what we're watching. And it's going to eventually get lifted up into that Gulf. But it's moving pretty fast, which helps keep development slow. And it's entering this upper level low area here with that frontal line. So there could be a lot of shear in the Gulf. And eventually it's going to race on out of here next week. It looks like this one's really going to turn and possibly, go off. So this is what a lot of juice down there, a lot of moisture. Jamaica just got some rain. Caymans are getting some rain. This is our spot. There it is. You can see it clear as day. I got surface map up. Actually, I was going to show here before we went live, but there it is. You can see it right there, tropical wave south of Jamaica. So that's what we're watching. This popped up last night, or I shared it last night, that is. Outlook showing this spot red, pretty good chances. That's what we're watching now, and then possibly the same weather pattern into the middle part of October. Yes, October. Yes, October. There's a lot of hurricanes in October. A lot of bad hurricanes in October. So that just kind of shows that officially NOAA is looking at 2 spots ahead. All right. I put a couple of graphics together this morning. One was this. This is tropicaltidbits.com. This was encouraging to me. This is all for next Sunday. And right now, the operational models aren't showing development, consistently. That's always good. Every day we get closer to a storm, you get a little more confident. And this is a good trend, at least, of nothing showing up too strong yet. Okay. There's a lot of factors in play here. Like I said, there's a lot of wind shear. The system's over some cooler waters, yes, but normal waters. I don't want to use that as a talking point because Helene did cool the waters, and there's probably going to be a lot of great posts about that. Let me show you here. This is an amazing graphic. This is found on tropicaltidbits.com also. This is a 7-day water temperature change, 7-day sea surface temperature change. This is not that it's cold. It's telling you that the water has cooled up to 1 to 2 degrees than it was 7 days ago. And that was because of Helene cooling down the waters. Tropical systems pull the warmth. That's what fuels them. So that's good, yes. However, this is bad next to it. This is your overall anomaly map still for sea surface temperature. So it cooled it, but it's still hotter than normal, if that makes sense. So I'm cautious about, the waters are cold. It ain't going to happen because the waters aren't cold. It's colder than they were, but they're still hotter than they was. No. Colder than they were, hotter than they are. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Water temps are still hot enough to support anything Mother Nature wants to do. Water temperature says okay. So that's not going to prevent anything because of the water temperatures. But overall, modeling. So let's look at all the modeling. Now, here's ensembles I also posted. What are ensembles? We talk about these all the time. These are all the different scenarios that the Euro thinks and the GFS thinks. And the only reason I want to keep talking about it is because there's modeling suggesting development and turning, which that's what these systems do in October. 2 scenarios, weaker west. That's what the Euro always does this time of year. No development hardly. There's one or two, but this is what the Euro did for a lot of models, and the Euro has failed 5 out of 5 hurricanes now this season. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 4. Every named system this year, the Euro has failed initially. But the GFS has some weak development, and unfortunately, it's got some strong development. So, as always, we watch what it does here for what it does there. And I guess I was a little bummed out to see a bunch of ensembles. This would be for next Sunday morning, which means it would already have been passed by now. Faster, stronger, through the state. So, if any of these European ensembles verify, by Sunday of next week, it's already been here. So it could be, late week. And these are the 00Z. Let's see what the 6Z showed. 6Z ensembles. They come out every 6 hours. And this one definitely doesn't look like it's going to go very far north. Looks like there's a front coming down that's going to pick it up and turn it. Here's a weird thing that we've been doing for years. Tracking October hurricanes with Spirit Halloween ads. If that doesn't make no sense at all. We started talking hurricanes in April. Yeah, there's a few more. Oh, God. Well, yeah. Not a lot, but I mean, it's telling you the weather pattern is pretty locked in place. Even those other models are showing a weaker system. They're showing that pattern of a turn to the northeast fast. That's typical for October storms to pass fast because of cold fronts coming down. But we'll see. Now these are weak. I mean, these aren't like worst case scenario. They're but we don't need any rain. We don't need anything at all. So, and again, I don't think Texas needs to worry about anything. Probably not Louisiana. I mean, this one has got a trend of this turn for sure. The Euro. Let's see if we got a 9. Let's do the 6Z. That doesn't go out very far, but we can at least see. Yeah, see, it's still west. Oh, there's a couple popping into play here. Starting to turn a little bit. Notice what happens at the end. They're starting to turn. This would be next Friday. So, yeah. I don't know yet. I'm trying to clear my head here and really give it some serious thought. I mean, we got a wave down here, definitely looking juicy. It's got some spin already. Moving pretty fast. Doesn't really have a core. That's a good thing. It's all about getting that spinach, getting some sort of spin. That's good news, obviously, right now. These fast-moving systems take time to try to slow down and develop some sort of a spin, so it doesn't have any of that right now. So that means it's several days away from doing that. It needs to have spin before it can really get going. That's upper level high. Not a lot of wind shear. It's kind of messy down there. Not really bad, actually. The wind shear is not too bad. Here's your steering flow. There's that upper level system here that's going to drive it through the gap more than likely. There. So modeling, now this will tell us a lot. So that, we look at the GFS, we look at the Canadian model first because they've been really good this season on initial storm development. So tropicaltidbits.com, and we'll start out with the GFS and show you what's cooking. So through the week, let's go to Western Atlantic. All right, and let's look at rain maps. This will kind of get a good picture. So we're watching this wave down here, and you can kind of see it pulling up. Maybe this is Friday, and it's messy. That's actually a different system over here. So that's good news. GFS is keeping a very sloppy system. You know, turning a little bit here Friday into Saturday. No more Talladega. We always so early on tropical watching, you always look at weather patterns and steering. You know, you don't really focus on any intensity or track this early. Because wherever it's pointing yesterday, it's probably not going to point to today, but you start to get a feel of where it's going. But that's not really much development. I mean, it could bring some heavy rain, unfortunately, to areas that don't need it. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, we're talking about PTC8 that just absolutely flooded the heck out of the Carolina coast, right? Carolina Beach and that. We had Debbie did the same thing in our northern Florida with some unbelievable one in a bazillion year floods, right? All right, so last night, 00Z GFS, a little more developed down here in the Yucatan Gap on Wednesday. And it turns into our good buddy, Morgan. Tyler in there? Tyler? How did, there you go, Tyler. How did y'all do up there in your place? I know you're under a hurricane warning, Tyler. Did it really get bad? Port St. Joe, that whole area? Apalachicola? Morgan's attracting storms. Yeah, Chelsea. Well, anyway, that was the overnight GFS. So they're going to bounce around. You know, 7 days out, you really start to believe them. We look at all waves this time of year. This would be Tuesday, Wednesday. Actually, it's kind of weird. It's kind of developing a different area, but that's odd. So the NHC is marking the X below Jamaica. Yeah, they do that sometimes. It's not necessarily that spot. It's just that general area. And same timing. This would be not a good storm. That would be a strong hurricane. This would be Saturday. Cat 2. But then the next run, it doesn't do it. So that's good news. That's when you start to say, well, you know, that's not really consistent. We saw consistency with Helene early on, and we saw more than just the GFS. So hopefully we'll see afternoon runs. This was the 18Z last night, 985. So, you know, same scenario the next like 3 days. Whatever it does here is going to make so much difference what it does up here. But this latest GFS showing no development here, so it's not developed there. The 18Z GFS yesterday showed development here, which really is going to develop it in the Gulf. You know, so that was a good trend on the 6Z. Let's see if it does it on the 12Z. But 6Z just kept it a big, wet, sloppy mess heading that way versus a bad hurricane. So that's a good little trend. Let's see what the Canadian is doing. The 00Z overnight. 1004 on Thursday. Sloppy rains, unfortunately, Friday. Sloppy system. That's good. It's bad, but it's good. Meaning nothing organized. 1001. Could be tropical storm, but Canadian showing that. I mean, there's an awful lot of stuff going on here in the Gulf right now, too. So I think we could see just a lot of wind shear possibly through the week here. Maybe. Time just doesn't, you know, he needs time. Thursday. Yeah, so if it doesn't develop before here, I mean, it ain't going to do much up here. So it's really doesn't really have that level of concern yet. yet. Yeah, see, so I think the main takeaway from right now is we got a weather pattern that's very similar. Mother Nature does repeat herself. We get these weather patterns locked in place, and sometimes they can mimic things before something comes along and changes that weather pattern. So we'll see. We got to really see what the overnight model or the next run does, because they're bouncing around a lot. You see that front coming into play late week here. The front might be picked up now officially here on our 7-day charts. Looks like there might be a front coming into play. This is Sunday. Let's look at Friday. Where are the fronts? There we go. Well, kinda. So we got a big old sloppy mess here on Thursday. Yeah. Well, this is kind of telling here. This is Sunday. This is Saturday. This is Friday. So that's kind of hinting a little bit. Low pressure. I mean, this is like deja vu all over again. Yeah, so today's Sunday. Timing looks pretty locked in. Very confident on that. Locked in on the upper Eastern Gulf again. Not really having a good feeling yet on what the heck this might do strength-wise. I'll try the old KMA here. It's a pretty decent little model. So it's not showing much on Wednesday. So this is what it did with Helene. It was farther west, but this is important is for me and anybody that might be wanting confidence on a track or more track idea is it's going to race on out of here with a front setup. So a little west, but the idea is if anything were to develop, it's gonna do a hard 90 once it does that. So that, that's kind of in line with others. The UK, you okay? UK? Anybody ever take a nap at 10 in the morning before? UK is not really showing much, which is good. So yeah. So it's a maybe pull the 12-foot skeleton out of the attic. Maybe. I feel real confident after the 12Z runs come in. We're within a week here, so, we believe in the models 7 days out. I was watching this during the Helene, but I didn't want to bring it up. Can somebody recap? Lily, 50% chance something will develop. Oh, you got generators running, Jackie. Where are you at? Yes, Angela. Yeah, I'm a little worried about my drive to Talladega. It's always fun to decorate, Christina. I love the seasons. I love decorating. I was laughing at myself yesterday. I was mad at myself yesterday. I was sweeping up tree debris, you know, and it was our worst tree debris, same as Irma levels here in our house. But I'm thinking, I'm out here bitching about doing this, and I'm like, you know, it's like, Mike, you're so insensitive. There's like people without houses right now, and I'll tell it to everybody. Like, so if you just if you just think about how, if you weren't affected, how fortunate you are and how unfortunate millions of others are, and that you got to dig a little deeper sometimes and just go out and do it, because man, there's a lot of people out there that are having to do a lot more than sweeping up tree debris. I mean, they're having to find pictures and look for any sort of sanity and picking up whatever pieces are left, which are pretty much none. Tammy saw a video, 2 more hurricanes are behind. That is hype. Okay, hype. Amber, the next update comes out at 2 p.m. from the National Hurricane Center. I can't see them going more than 50%, to be honest, right now. Right now. A lot of debris and loots. I believe it, Karen. Oh, Tyler, I just read your comments. What about the weather lately that we've been seeing? I mean, hey, Outer Banks, houses crashing, seas, flooding, hurricanes. It's been a rough year for weather. So there always seems to be a lot of hype for the next one after we just had a bad one, and I see that every year. You know. It's like emotions are high, so let's just make them higher. But just right now, I mean, really the only thing that's, you know, I guess if I was worried about anything, it's just any system down here still is one to watch. And like the Euro always does, it's late in days, but the general flow is obviously that. Now, long range, nothing's making it this far, you know, not even for the islands. So it's very rare to get anything out in the Atlantic to get this far west this time of year. So we're really just focused on the Gulf right now. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but nothing appears to be making it this far west. So yeah, the Gulf's definitely worth watching. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm just trying to see if anything stands out to me that, trying to clear my head from Helene, and, you know, still no. Well, wind shear went up a little bit, which is good. Helps systems have a harder time to develop. Let's see. Hi. What are you doing? Come here. Want to say hi? We're still in that favorable phase of the MJO, unfortunately. Want to say hi? Kneel down. Say hi. Wait, this way. Look right there. She can't talk, or she got like a little cold. Say hi. Hi. What do you got? What is that? Oh, you're doing. Oh, she's doing her nails. Is this nails? What is it? Oh, lip gloss. Lip gloss. You gonna put some lip gloss on? Where we had dinner last night? You remember? TBBBBBBC. And you know, the only thing that's kind of tricky with Tropics is, man, we've seen these back-to-back systems sometimes almost the same exact spot. Gina Francis, there's one up in Wilmington. The year of the Upper Gulf, I can't remember the two, but they went right up Louisiana. So it does happen. You know, we get these weird locked-in weather patterns, and so you know, the MJO here in green allows storms to develop easier. That's less upper-level winds and more lifting of the atmosphere versus sinking air. So unfortunately, we're still in that green phase here. Man, I don't know. I think we need to watch this one again. I hate to think that, but there's moisture, a lot of moisture out there. Precipitable water map really shows the spin. This puts it kind of, let me close some tabs. Oh my goodness. We don't want to crash Chrome. I crashed Chrome back in January. We usually crash Chrome once a season. Hasn't happened since January. Sometimes the old computer is slow in the mornings. It's like all of us. And sometimes it just needs to wake up, like a lot of us. But this is the spot right here. Oh my goodness, that's a big old thing. So I'm just going to do that while we finish talking here. Right there. There we go. Look at that. You know, one thing that happened with Helene, it slowed down a little bit off the Florida coast there, and that usually detects a steering change. Remember, it looked like it was heading east, and all of a sudden it kind of slowed down. That's when they react to a steering change and get lifted to the north. So you had 05 Cat, Rita, 20, Laura and Delta, that's right. I had some graphics. I wish I could find them. I did a lot of graphics early season showing storms that were back to back. Hurricane does cool the waters off. The MJO stronger to Pacific. There's just phases of them. I mean, sometimes it's a weaker phase, stronger phase. Strength of what yet, Jessica? Nothing yet. There's been models showing Cat 2, Cat 3 to tropical storm. But the timing in the general area is pretty locked in. Waters do get cooled down, but am I frozen? No. Aerial landfall, if we get anything, it would be later next week for sure. Jake, the NHC track was awesome. The cone was awesome. I think we just learned a lot about, hopefully we're all learning about the cone and the effects are two separate things. Timing, end of the week. Well, there's no, There's been more models saying Florida on this one than other areas, you know, Panhandle to West Central Florida. But I guess the one thing about this one, it looks like it's going to cut more across into the Atlantic so far. So hopefully leaving alone the Carolinas on this one. Loop eddies vector. I have it right here, halfway down this right here. That shows the current water loop eddies and loop currents. So there's a lot of hot water in that Caribbean. It's still very hot. Let me show you a graphic here. So we already talked about how the water anomaly is so hotter than normal. So that's going to be a talking point of a lot of people is, oh, the waters are cold down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. The water temperature is still hot enough to support a 920 hurricane. This is a maximum potential hurricane intensity based on current atmosphere, water, everything that goes into predicting hurricane strengths. And this is the maximum pressure that anything could support. And the upper Gulf is showing, 940, 950 pressure. But in this Caribbean, blue is day after tomorrow pressures, 890. Maximum wind map here shows that the upper Gulf could still support a 4. The middle Gulf here could still support a 5. That's current conditions. So the talking points of the water cooled down is there, yes. But the anomaly maps are still above normal, the 30-year average maps. So it cooled it some, but it's still hotter than what it normally is. So that's we've had hurricanes when the water was cooler than normal. So maybe not that massive, rapid intensification, hopefully. Hey, what are you doing over there scratching? Stop it. You look right at me and scratch. You know it pisses me off. Yeah, you stopped when I looked at you. Okay, let's check out McNulty's site here. Ocean heat content. This will be interesting. So hey, it dipped, but hey, it's still hot. Here's the Gulf. So you can see the dip here a couple days, but look where that red dot is. Red dot's still above the 10-year average of blue. So the Gulf's still hotter than it's been since 13. Now, I would question if it is reading exact temps now. I know sea surface temps are measured daily, satellite. But ocean heat content, still hot. So yeah, we're not going to worry about the water temperatures. The water temperatures are still hot. And at this point, we don't want any storm. It doesn't matter what strength. Fast moving, yes. There's got to be a front coming down. It's got to be a front. You can see it right there. Frontal line, typical. Watching for that gap. And late season turn. Now the stronger runs the GFS had, this is kind of a little more showing probably that frontal line. See kind of that pattern. So kind of watching close here, man. I mean, it's gonna really come down the next couple days right here. Quicker it develops today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. I keep getting reminded by Julie and Rachel that it was 2 years ago today that they rescued me and Phil from Ian. Well, the weather patterns say Florida definitely would be the highest odds if anything were to develop. So yes, yes. It's just not enough support right now like we had, but I'm still that's the Euro AI week 1006, Sunday. Canadian 1000 millibar broad low over the weekend. Yesterday's 12Z Canadian was stronger down here, stronger up here. So yeah, I'll feel more confident tomorrow talking about it. But I do think we need to watch it, obviously. This will be Saturday. Man, that area does not need another storm. That's for damn sure. Nobody in Florida needs anything. Nobody needs nothing anywhere. But well, we just have to be real. Hopefully the euro is right this time. But even the euro eventually kind of turns it all towards Florida. See what the old Canadian ensemble's showing here. So it's got its biggest concentration Saturday right there. Now most of these are weak, yes, but we don't. Well, it's a broad low area, so it's really coming down to what it does in the short term. Obviously, if it's a broad low going up into the Gulf midweek, then it's just going to stay unorganized, and because that front's going to come and it's just going to turn sloppy. But what it does down here, obviously, is everything. And it'll have a few days down there. And so, waters are hot. Same thing, man. I don't know. I just think we got probably something brewing. We're going to have to watch again. It's weird, though. The NHC's put an X there. I think it's more going to come from that area versus what's there now. It's really weird because this water map we got shows that fast moving wave, but most models are developing this 2 to 3 days later. Looks like we're going to get more juice down here, almost like our CAG setup again. So it's kind of, ironically, it could be this wave ends up coming back. Could be doing a loop-de-doop. So honestly, let's take a look at the setup down here. Yeah, it's different. It's totally different. the X is not what we're watching. So here's our wave right now currently, and it's going to go off to here. Our wave is actually formulating just like our last one did. It's definitely a CAG setup. Follow this little piece of energy right here. This is what we're looking at on radar right now. This is the X, but watch what happens. That one just keeps moving fast, right? We got a new area getting going here from this CAG setup from the Pacific. And even on the Euro, even though it doesn't develop it, you can follow it along right here. And it gets in kind of in a broad, low setup with that front. And see, it sits right here on Friday, and then it just kind of, the main core of it does come across Florida over the weekend. The difference being it's not developing it. So it's crazy. It's the same exact setup, man. We got this blob. This is the blob that the NAC has marked, and it's going that way. But then we got a new one coming around the mountain. Like that. Now, if we look at yesterday's GFS, see, now I'm getting a clear picture now. It's taken me an hour and a half to get my brain back, but it's back. Here's our fast-moving wave that we're seeing on precipitable map right now. That's what we're watching. But watch it go flying by. See it? So this wave is going to go into the Yucatan. This is the area that we're eventually going to. Now, they might have marked the X of where to watch down the road. But this is spawning down here by Central America, and it's coming up. This almost looks exactly the same as our setup on Helene a week ago. Now let me go back in time, because look, this is Pacific juice. It's going to be, it's almost the exact. Remember I said Mother Nature's tricky? This is so damn freaking weird, man. So we had, what was that storm in the Pacific during Helene? I don't even remember. But we had a hurricane that crossed and came back here. And some of that juice was fed actually up to Helene. So let's go back on the GFS and try to find this timestamp. This is October 2nd coming up. Let's go back to the islands. Let's go back to the islands. All right, let's go around Monday. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So this was September 23rd GFS for Hurricane John. There you go, Shelly. Thank you. It's so crazy. And it actually predicted this one too. Look. Kinda. It's crazy. Alright, so on September, so this was September 23rd. This is what the vorticity map was showing for future Helene. And there's a spot in the Pacific. Now, they're all going to be a little different, but look at that now. That was then, September 23rd, on the early stages of Helene. And then we look at now. Right there for Wednesday. And we basically have almost the exact same look with some stuff in the Pacific, and we got something brewing here on Wednesday. It's crazy. It's crazy. Does anybody see what I'm talking about? This is nuts, man. This is current for Wednesday. Oh God. So yeah, I think we got something to legitimately watch here. Oh my God. So that's all right. Mother Nature repeats herself. I think if that was my weird gut feeling as far as track and timing and how this thing formulates and genesis, then it's kind of the same exact setup as Helene. It's going to have 3 days from here to there before that turn. And maybe it won't shoot across Florida, according to this model. So, I mean, it's almost exactly the same. Wow. Okay. All right. So, that's about it. Screenshot it, same. It is strange. It is. Skeleton in the hole pattern. What's up, Jason? Hurricane ever hit the same spot? Heck yeah, Stacks. I need to find my graphics, man. I did a whole thing on it. I'll bring them up here. Well, no, because people would be scared. I can't do that. All right. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching on Sunday. 90% Augusta still without power. Golly. I mean, just look at the whole maps. It's crazy, man. All these states have, I mean, it's a massive storm. Florida's still got 250,000 people without power. We got North Carolina with 551, Georgia 685,000, South Carolina 913,000. I mean, these are incredible numbers. And you can follow along. There's Florida. Look at Pinellas County still with 75,000 people without power in Pinellas County. That isn't. Can you believe that? 75,000 people without power still in Pinellas County. Look at that, Georgia. Holy crap, man. Almost 100% of people without power in all these green counties. I mean, talking with Tammy from OSR, you know, there's only so many, there's only so many people. And when you have a storm spread out like this, you know, usually everybody can be concentrated in one general area and things get done quicker. But when you got only X amount of people and so much spread, it's hard to even figure out how to send units to here and there. And crazy, man. South Carolina, it's just nuts, man. The green area is almost 100% of people without power. I mean, tell me this storm, you know, everybody was so worried about the track change and they're getting on my ass about it. And, you know, like, does it really matter? It mattered who got maybe, I don't know, did it really matter, really? It mattered positively for Tallahassee. It mattered. It didn't matter anything to millions of other people, but the track change was a positive thing for Tallahassee for sure. But anyway, wow. As I'm telling you. So as you're sitting there, hopefully, you know, and you're not dealing with it, think of all the poor folks that are. And I put my drone footage up. Let me show you here on TikTok this morning. Let's see if I can pull it up here. I gotta hit the music. It might be. I don't know if I can make it any bigger or not. No. No. Well, anyway, there it is. So I put all my drone footages in one video. It's crazy. And that's just what I can cover. I know it's worse other places and not just Florida. But anyway. I've never seen nothing like it. I can tell you that. Until you get on the ground and see it and see coloring books and memories, it's so bad. So did anybody watch me yesterday? I was telling the story of my buddy Trey. We become friends. His house was completely destroyed and his dad's completely destroyed. Gone. Literally nothing but stilts is there. And we looked everywhere and everywhere and everywhere. In fact, let me pull up a drone footage here of that. I can bring that up. So let me go to my X account real quick. And pull up their house. And what the heck am I clicking here? I'm clicking all kinds of crap. Let's see here. So let me pull this one up full screen. I know this won't fit in it. I did this drone shot. This is Cedar Island, which is next to Keaton Beach. Hundreds of homes here. Hundreds of homes here. Some did okay somehow. Some obviously are completely gone. These are completely gone homes. But we looked at his dad's. Let me see if I can stop right here. Boom, let me stop. Well, let's see how close I got to his dad's here. I came back over around. I'm trying to find my truck here somewhere. Can't remember where we parked at. Over here. There's, oh, trying to find it. Oh, wait. Well, anyway, I can stop it here for now. Where's my truck at? There's the road. Oh, I thought that was it right there. Oh, I moved. Oh, we were talking and I left. And then I parked somewhere else. That's what it was. So his dad's house is right here. I'm circling it. We pulled up. It was awful. He was not expecting to see it completely gone. There's a song from Miranda Lambert called "The House That Built Me," and it is sad what's happening in Carolina, Tennessee. It's sad everywhere. I stressed that last night. People get mad at me when I don't talk about everybody's areas, and I can't. I feel like I'm failing by not covering everybody, but I just can't. I'm not there, and I showed the rain and talked about it, but I can't. I'm not taking anything away by showing this disaster, because there's millions of other people dealing with the same thing, and that includes Pinellas County in my hometown of Oldsmar. Man, there are homes after homes after homes that are flooded here. It's just what I have footage of. But the house that built me, they moved there, his grandma, in 1940s, and his family took it over and they lived there. He grew up as a kid there, and now that's a vacation home. But all his dad wanted was his 3 deer heads that he had mounted up. And we walked everywhere. I walked behind there. I was in mud. I was in these trees. I was over here. I was trying so hard. I went on this side. I was like, I'm going to find them. Couldn't find them. I was like, there's just so much debris everywhere, man. And I was so sad because I wanted to find the deer head so bad. I'm like, come on, Fred. However, yesterday, tell me this is not fate. So Trey's dad said, I'll send this picture to Mike. He went back there and look. So that video that you're looking at, he went back there and he found his 2 deer heads out of all that crap. All 200 homes completely destroyed, everything gone, and all that debris. Couldn't even find his roof. He couldn't find anything from that house. The only thing we saw on the ground was a TV. There was no sign of anything else from his house. Maybe some pieces of roof here and there. But he found his deer heads, man. So you might be complaining about mowing your yard and putting up decorations, and all he wanted was his 2 deer heads, and he got them. So that's probably worth the story right there in itself. And they had 140-mile-an-hour winds too, not in gusts, higher. So, but that's just devastation, man. Just terrible. And most of the stuff is over here in this little area. So anyway, it was a cool story, I thought. Anyways, happy story out of all the crap, right? So anyway, we'll be back live tomorrow, maybe tomorrow night if we have to. Not tonight. There's not enough really yet, I don't think, to get everybody worked up about, unless it changes. If the 12Z models look nervous, then we'll figure something out. But right now, 100% tomorrow morning, and we'll be live Tuesday. And if I decide to go to Talladega, I'll be live on the road. And that's been our thing, and I have to be realistic and not go. So it'll be a tough couple of days for me to decide what we're going to do. So, all right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Shelly wasn't feeling good, but she's here like a rock star, and really hope that everybody's doing okay. I feel good, Brian. I'm just tired. Chimney Rock was bad, yes. Astro was bad. I can't believe Interstate 40 got washed away. One of the bridges. That's going to be major issues. You know how many trucks drive on Interstate 40? Semi trucks. That is like a main road to bring goods, travel, transportation, Amazon. I mean, think about it. That's a lot of traffic on Interstate 40 that's going to be routed differently, and that takes months to rebuild. There you go. All right. We'll see y'all in the morning. Thanks so much for watching. Okay. Have a good Sunday. Go Bucks. They got to come back from that big loss last week. So